Yeah, and we have a very special guest now, Rob Blake, joining us from Staples Center. Rob, we have reached the end of a monumentally lengthy draft. This is my first draft, and I'm told it's not usually like this. So what has this day been like for you now that all your picks are in the books?
Well, no, definitely a little longer than the usual scenario, but all in all, I think it was successful by the league putting it on, and with all the different technical capabilities that they had to come up with all the other.
Number 2 pick over on the draft, their first round selection, and then Helga Grans, Brock Faber, Casper Simon-Tybalt, and the rest of them. For more on the LA Kings and what they did at the draft, over to Jamie and EJ.
Yeah, and we have a very special guest now, Rob Blake, joining us from Staples Center. Rob, we have reached the end of a monumentally lengthy draft. This is my first draft, and I'm told it's not usually like this. So what has this day been like for you now that all your picks are in the books?
Well, no, definitely a little longer than the usual scenario, but all in all, I think it was successful by the league putting it on, and with all the different technical capabilities that they had to come up with all the other teams and everything, it seemed to run pretty smooth once we got going here.
Yeah, there's no question about that. This is a task to do, and give credit to everybody involved, because it's better to have it, even if it's a little longer, than not have it at all. Yeah. Let's go back to last night and your pick at number 2. You take Quinton Byfield. There was some scuttle that maybe you guys were going to go towards Tim Stützle. What was the conversation like amongst your scouts in the months and days leading up to the eventual selection last night?
Well, I think once we, got down to the lottery and understood where we were picking, it came down to a few players and within the internal debate, and obviously coming up with Quinton being the guy coming out of that debate and moving forward on that. But with the extended time, I think a lot of the video and the preparation the scouts did really focused on some of the later rounds, because we had to, be prepared if the draft was early, and I think once the extended time got pushed back, lots of video and a lot of focus and debates became internal there.
Now, Rob, I know you drafted Quinton because of the player that he is, but in doing so, he made history by becoming the highest drafted black player in NHL history. Have you thought at all about what impact that might have, a positive impact that might have throughout the hockey community?
Well, I think in hockey in general and in the world in general, it's terrific to see that. He's a very grounded person. We did a lot of interviews with him leading up to the process, and the topic had come up a couple times through the agency and that, but a lot of his focus is on becoming a hockey player, hockey first, and doing that. But within that, he will take this onto his shoulders, and terrific for him and terrific for all of us going forward.
Well, Rob, you have Quinton Byfield. You also have a number of guys in the pipeline there. When I go back and look at Turcotte and Kaliev, you acquired Tyler Madden. You went out and got Elias Anderson today. You have a number of really, really high-end prospects, guys that you're hoping can move forward. When you think about training camp, which we hope will be in a couple of months, how many of these guys do you think are going to have a chance to break through and make your team?
Well, I think the way we ended up last year forward-wise is going to be very similar. The young guys will be, hopefully coming into camp and ready. The extended time off will be interesting to see the maturity level at those young ages. You saw some of the players that moved on into the playoffs, and they had 4 or 5 months off to recuperate from the season and to train, and then they were very dominant come playoff time. So it'll be interesting to see where the young guys get to. And like I said, we've always been very conscious about surrounding them with the Kopitars, the Carters, the Browns, Quicks, and Dowdies, guys that have won championships, but will also be a very good veteran presence for them all.
I understand that you loaned 5 of your prospects over to, I believe, the German league for the next few months. Because of the pause over here in North America, a lot of guys not being able to play regular hockey games. What benefit do you hope that time over there will have on their development?
Well, I think the structure part of it, with a traditional training camp, where you'll have coach instruction, you'll be on the ice in full practice and everything, but also the level of competition in the DEL in Berlin, much greater than probably what these kids would have been getting in their own setups in their own hometown. So just another avenue to provide a little bit of that structure that we look for.